You know, it's wild how a few simple habits can totally change how you see and live your life. We're all chasing happiness, right? But sometimes the typical self-help advice just doesn't cut it. So, what if instead we look to ancient wisdom? That's what I did with Stoic principles, and let me tell you, it was life-changing. Today, I'm sharing 5 Stoic-inspired habits that reshaped every day for me. They help me move from a place of stress and overwhelm to one of calm focus and resilience. And these aren't your typical just meditate or keep a journal tips. Though hey, those can be helpful too. These practices come directly from Stoicism, the ancient philosophy that champions inner peace and strength. And they're simple but transformative, even in a busy modern world. By the end of this video, you'll have 5 actionable steps you can start using today to build a life full of purpose, calm, and real peace. So, if you're ready to move from chaos to clarity, let's dive right into the first habit. Habit 1. Daily reflection. All right, let's kick off with something that sounds super simple, but is actually a game changer. Daily reflection. The Stoics believed in the power of looking inward every day. They didn't let their thoughts and actions just pass by unnoticed. Instead, they examined them closely, reflecting on what went well, what didn't, and most importantly, why. Imagine how much more intentional your life could be if you started doing this too. So here's how you can do it. Every morning or night, set aside a few quiet minutes for yourself. Think back on your day. Did you react to something with patience, or did you lose your cool? Were you in control of your emotions, or did you let stress take over? The idea isn't to criticize yourself, but to learn. By regularly reflecting on your thoughts and actions, you can spot patterns that don't serve you and start choosing how you respond to life's challenges. Here's a quick example. Imagine you had a tough day at work. Instead of venting or letting it build up, sit down, take a deep breath, and reflect. Why did that get to me? Maybe you'll realize it's because you took something personally that wasn't even about you. This simple shift can turn frustration into understanding and ultimately peace. This habit trains you to be more self-aware. It's like creating a mental logbook where you record lessons daily. Over time, you'll notice that you handle situations more calmly because you've practiced observing rather than reacting. It's about building that pause between what happens to you and how you respond. So if you're someone who's constantly battling stress or struggling to find peace in a chaotic world, try daily reflection. Even just 5 minutes can help you approach the next day with more clarity, control, and confidence. Habit 2. Practicing voluntary discomfort. Now, this next one might sound a bit counterintuitive, but it's actually one of the most powerful practices I've adopted, practicing voluntary discomfort. The Stoics believed that by intentionally putting ourselves in uncomfortable situations, we could build resilience and learn to handle life's inevitable challenges with more grace. Think about it. When was the last time you stepped outside your comfort zone? Most of us avoid discomfort like the plague. But here's the thing. If we're always seeking comfort, we end up feeling fragile and overwhelmed when life throws us a curveball. Voluntary discomfort isn't about making life hard on yourself. It's about training your mind to be okay with being uncomfortable. By practicing this, you learn that discomfort isn't something to be feared. It's a stepping stone to growth. Here's how I apply it. Sometimes I'll skip a meal on purpose or take a cold shower in the morning. It sounds small, but these little challenges help me develop a stronger mental attitude. When I voluntarily choose discomfort, it reminds me that I have the power to endure. And when real-life stresses hit, whether it's a long workday or an unexpected problem, I'm less likely to panic because I know I've already built that resilience muscle. One of my favorite exercises for this is a weekly digital detox. I set my phone aside, avoid all the screens, and get comfortable with boredom. It's surprisingly challenging, but the benefits are huge. I feel more present, more grounded, and better able to tackle stress afterward. The best part? Practicing voluntary discomfort gives you this quiet confidence. You develop this sense of control, knowing that you can handle whatever comes your way. Life will throw obstacles your way. It's inevitable. But by putting yourself in tough situations regularly, you'll be prepared for them. And in a world obsessed with comfort, building resilience is truly a superpower. Habit 3. Distinguishing control versus influence. This next habit has been a complete game changer for my peace of mind, distinguishing what's within my control and what's just within my influence. It's a cornerstone of Stoic thinking, learning to separate what you can control from what you can't. Once you master this, life gets a whole lot easier. Here's how it works. The Stoics believed that we shouldn't waste energy on things we have no direct control over. That includes other people's opinions, unexpected setbacks, even things like the weather or traffic. Instead, they focused on what they could control, things like their own reactions, decisions, and effort. When you truly adopt this mindset, it can feel like lifting a mental weight. For example, imagine you're working on a big project at work. You can control the quality of your own work, but you can't control how your boss or co-workers will respond. If you start worrying about their reactions, you'll just feel anxious and powerless. But if you focus solely on doing your best, you take back your power and let go of unnecessary stress. The key is to remind yourself daily of this distinction. When something starts stressing you out, pause and ask, is this within my control or just my influence? If it's the latter, practice letting it go. You'll find that your mental energy is freed up to focus on the things you can actually change, and over time, this becomes second nature. This habit is like decluttering for the mind. It helps you cut through the noise, focus on what really matters, and feel more at peace. You'll be amazed at how much lighter life feels when you stop obsessing over things outside your control. So, if you're feeling weighed down by stress or overthinking, try this. Draw that mental line between control and influence, and notice how your energy, peace, and mental clarity improve. This shift alone can be incredibly liberating. Habit 4. Practicing negative visualization. Let's dive into a habit that's surprisingly powerful, practicing negative visualization. This is a Stoic exercise that might seem strange at first, but hear me out. It's genuinely life-changing. The idea is to imagine the worst-case scenario, not to stress yourself, but to appreciate what you have and prepare your mind for life's unpredictability. Here's how it works. Let's say you have a big presentation coming up. Instead of just picturing it going perfectly, try visualizing it going wrong. Maybe you forget what to say, or the technology fails. This might sound stressful, but it's actually the opposite. When you mentally rehearse what could go wrong, two things happen. First, you're better prepared if things don't go as planned. Second, it helps you value the present moment because you've visualized what life would be like without it. It's about building resilience to life's ups and downs. The Stoics use this exercise to face tough realities, like imagining life without certain comforts, health, or even loved ones. It sounds dark, but the result is a renewed sense of gratitude. You start seeing everything, even the small stuff, as valuable. Imagine savoring a morning coffee more because you realize it's not something you're entitled to, it's a gift. Every small pleasure gains new depth. For me, negative visualization helps reduce anxiety. Instead of being blindsided by challenges, I feel mentally prepared. And when things do go well, I'm even more appreciative. This exercise has grounded me in reality and reminded me not to take things for granted. It's shifted my perspective entirely. Try this next time you're facing a stressful situation or just need a gratitude boost. Picture the worst, not to dwell on it, but to appreciate what you have even more deeply. It's one of those small mental shifts that can make a huge difference, bringing peace and a real sense of joy to each day. Habit 5. Memento Mori. And finally, we come to one of the most profound Stoic principles, Memento Mori, which translates to, remember you will die. It might sound a bit morbid, but embracing this idea can bring a powerful sense of clarity and purpose to your life. The concept is simple. Remind yourself regularly that life is finite. The Stoics used this thought as a way to stay present and to live intentionally. By acknowledging that our time is limited, we tend to focus on what truly matters, letting go of trivial worries and pursuits. Memento Mori doesn't mean living in fear of death. It's about understanding that each moment is precious. Personally, I remind myself of this idea by reflecting on the choices I make daily. I ask myself, if today were my last, would I be proud of how I spent it? This habit shifts your perspective. You start prioritizing experiences, relationships, and personal growth over fleeting distractions. So, if you're looking for a way to live more purposefully, try embracing Memento Mori. Let it remind you to make the most of each day, to live boldly, and to focus on the things that really count. Because at the end of the day, that's what a meaningful life is all about. So, those are the 5 Stoic-inspired habits that truly changed my life. I hope they inspire you as much as they've inspired me. If you're ready to start living with more clarity, resilience, and purpose, go ahead and give these habits a try. And let me know in the comments which one you're most excited to try first. And hey, if you found value in this video and want to see more content like this, consider hitting that subscribe button and turning on notifications. I'm here to share more life-changing tips and insights, so you won't want to miss what's coming up next. Thanks for watching, and welcome to the journey. Let's build a life we're proud of, one habit at a time. Until next time, stay strong, stay stoic.